Hello everybody. When it comes to a WeTech M84 handgun, there is a very thorough guide on YouTube right now that a Taiwanese guy has done a full disassembly video on his silver M84. I'll leave that video in the description of this one. However, he didn't take apart the trigger assembly in that video, so I want to do a follow-up video for that in case someone also breaks a trigger return. First thing first, let's take the slide off, and in order to take the trigger off, there are two pins that is holding it in place. One is right here, which is the slide saw pin. The other one is right here in the trigger bar. So in order to do that, you'll have to take this thing off, which is fairly simple. It just lifts up like this, take off, and there is a spring underneath. And for this one, you'll have to take this off, which we'll be doing now. There's a grip screw holding it in place, like so. There's a hole, grip screw. Now, the trigger bar should just come out. There is a spring inside here. It's just in that groove there, and it should lift off. The spring sits in this groove here, comes off, and this is loose in here. So let's take it off so we don't lose it. Now the perhaps trickiest part of this is the disassembly lever and this thing, because the front of the trigger return spring also doubles as a tensioning spring for that button right there. We shall look at that a little later. So to take this off, simply rotate it out of the way. It pulls right off. The spring in question goes into a hole in this, and it just comes down from underneath. Okay, so you basically pull this trigger assembly straight down, and it should pop out of the hole here. See, there's a hole. And there's the trigger. The trigger has a brass bushing in it. This hole is the pivot hole, which is the slide stop one. And here's the spring. And to knock the brass bushing out, it's fairly simple. You just take a tool and push it. It's not tight at all. And to put this back together, you place the spring in roughly the correct position, and you take one of your metal tools or something and push it down while having the thumb over the brass bushing, like so. So you push it down in a way, all the way, it should just slide in and be perfect. Now to put this back together, we're going to go back to the tricky part. So first thing first, we'll put this in, get this slided through, and the goal is that you should position the trigger assembly and the spring at about the starting hole position of that pin. Now we can see it is at the it went in, and basically what happened is that the trigger is down low enough that it clears that hole there. So anyway, it went in, and the trigger should set itself upwards a little bit like so. So the hard part is out of the way. You can put this back in now or a little later, it's fine. And since we have this side up, let's do the trigger bar. Now, first thing, let's put this in. The long part goes forward, and then the trigger bar goes through the top hole of the trigger. A little hard to find it. Find the hole for the trigger bar. Well, it's in. This thing is still forward like so. And now the spring. The spring, like so. It's in the groove. Now you just push the top part down into the groove. Fairly convenient. There's a ledge there that you can just slide it down, it will go in. And now the other side of the manual safety to hold it all in place. Nice. So that's basically almost all the way in. Now this thing is a little tricky. Basically you'll have to position this in while this leg of the spring is on that ledge there, and the other leg is in this ridge here. So I will like to first find the hole for the slide stop. There it is. There you go. A little bit of a nail pushing it down in there while the other finger holds this in place. So nail in, finger in place, push, and you have this in place. Nice. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Here we go. That's the trigger part of the whole assembly done. And done. Thanks for watching.